Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today, man. We got a Mr. Ballin' for y'all today. Another top 3 photos with disturbing backstories. We got part 20 for y'all today, man. Somebody, hey, shout out to the person who commented about the bingeable ones. And they said it's a story in there we haven't heard before. Hey, comment, and if you're watching this, comment the video for us. And comment the timestamp of where we need to watch it. And so we can be able to do it. Because we were trying to do it the other day. And we wasn't able to because we was like, I wonder which story they were talking about. Like,
right.
Because we're not going to do the whole hour. Because some of the stories we've already heard. But if it's a brand new one that we haven't heard in the bingeable ones, we don't mind doing it. Just randomly throwing it up one day where, you know, it might just like, hey, just throw it here. We don't have to do it in a, you know.
Yeah.
So let us know that in the comments. Just want to let you know that I did see your comment. I just want to know exactly which one. But hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
like it in with a thumbs up.
But hey, let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what it's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Today, I'm going to share with you 3 progressively more disturbing stories, and at the end of each of them, I will share the photo or photos that are famously associated with them. But before we get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right channel because that's all we do, and we upload 3 or 4 times every week. So if that's of interest to you, please offer to house sit for the like button, and while you're there, split all of their 2-ply toilet paper into 1-ply. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's stories.
No, that's you.
I use soft tissue.
In 1992, 41-year-old Marvin Heemeyer purchased a plot of land in the small town of Granby, Colorado. There, for the next decade, he would run a muffler shop. Then, in the early 2000s, a cement company approached him and asked if they could buy a portion of his land so they could build a plant. And at first, Marvin was not really interested in the idea, but the cement company was offering a lot of money. And so Marvin came around to the idea, and after a long negotiation, Marvin and this company were about to sign a contract when Granby's zoning commission informed the cement company they didn't need to buy Marvin's property in order to build this plant. They could actually build it right next to Marvin's property. The cement company was thrilled. Marvin was furious. Not only was he losing a ton of money with this deal falling through, but also he used to use that plot of land that sat next to his property as a cut through between his house and his muffler shop. Marvin immediately began petitioning the town to try to stop the construction of this plant, but he was repeatedly rejected. And within a year, the plant was built right next to Marvin's property. A couple of years later, on the afternoon of June 4th, 2004, Granby residents heard a very loud sound that almost sounded like thunder coming from somewhere in the town. And so they ran outside to see what it was. When they looked down the road, they saw it. It was a fully armored bulldozer coming right down the center of town. The sides, the top, the back, the front, the whole thing was completely encased in steel sheets. And in some parts, the steel was over a foot thick. Traveling at 4 miles an hour, its treads were enormous, and as it went over the road, it was taking huge bites out of the ground.
Ooh.
There was no way to tell who was actually driving this bulldozer because there were no windows. And in fact, the person who was in there had welded themselves inside, and they had installed cameras on the outside so they could see where they were going. Terrified residents ran for cover and began calling 911. Over the next 2 hours, this homemade assault vehicle would go on a rampage, destroying 13 buildings, starting with the cement plant. After that, it turned around and went straight through the town hall. It turned and went through a bank, and then it went through the police station, and then the local newspaper, newspaper, and then it also went through a local hardware store and the house of the former mayor. The police tried to box the bulldozer in using their biggest vehicles, but it just easily pushed them aside. SWAT team showed up and began engaging this vehicle with their largest caliber armor-piercing rounds, but none of them went through it. Finally, one of the treads on the bulldozer got stuck in a basement, and it kind of tilted the machine on its side, and it couldn't go anywhere. And then very shortly after that, the engine finally died. It would take authorities 7 hours to finally cut through the armor of this killdozer. And when they looked inside, they found that Marvin was the one driving it, and he had taken his own life. Marvin had spent the past year and a half building up this bulldozer specifically so he could seek revenge on the zoning committee as well as other town officials that he felt screwed him. Marvin was the only fatality, but before he died, he caused over $7 million in damages. Ooh. Here are some real images of Marvin's killdozer.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
That thing huge. That's crazy.
Damn. Yeah, it's a pissed off man, bro.
What you said.
But I wonder why. Was it because, like, I wonder why literally was he upset? Is it because the deal didn't go through? He felt like he was screwed because he didn't get the money? Mm-hmm. Like, I wonder what, like, really pissed him off.
I'm thinking, yeah, definitely. Because at first I was like, definitely the money. But then when he said that he used that land to whatever, I'm like, I'm pretty sure, you know, like, I mean, I don't think that would be such a big deal. You could just go a different way or whatever, because he said he used that land to cut through to his but I really think it was probably the money, because like I'm literally right there, like we there, we at the last, like,
and he got screwed over, like probably life-changing money for him, and like could have been millions at that time that would have, you know what I'm saying, but who knows, but I really wonder like what really, like, and
then the fact that you feel like you have no one on your side when you try to go.
But in a situation like that, on a real situation like that, they're not gonna stop that, because at the end of the day, the town looking at it like there's less money they have to spend. Now they can utilize that and probably put in more jobs for other people. Yeah. So the town benefits.
Facts. But he didn't see it that way, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So.
But and that's why I really wonder, like, what was, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do he feel like he got screwed, or was it more on a selfish? Because everything didn't work out for himself. That's life, though. Life, nothing works out 100% for self. Sometimes you just got to deal with it. But I don't want to assume that. But I just wonder, like, what was his, like, reason to be so angry? What did he do to make him so mad?
On the evening of December 19th, 2016, 62-year-old Russian ambassador Andrei Karlov was ushered into a famous art museum in Turkey. There, Andrei was going to deliver a speech.
What was his name?
On the evening of December 19th, 2016, 62-year-old Russian ambassador Andrei Karlov was ushered into a famous art museum in Turkey. There, Andrei was going to deliver a speech at the opening of an exhibition of Turkish photography that featured the Russian countryside. Andrei had been a Russian government employee for the past 40 years, spending much of his time in North Korea, but in 2013 he took this post as the ambassador to Turkey. Although he was a seasoned diplomat, he knew there was a lot riding on this visit. His appearance there was following several days of protests by Turks against Russian involvement in the Syrian civil war. Andrei was there to ease the strain in Turkish-Russian relations as officials from both countries met to broker a ceasefire in Syria. As Andrei made his way across the room, he had a lot of things on his mind, but one thing he wasn't concerned about was his own safety. The museum had state-of-the-art security cameras, and everyone who was going to be attending his speech had been carefully screened and vetted. Andrei was also protected by his own personal bodyguards that were these men in dark suits that fanned out around him as he stepped up to the microphone. The bodyguard who stood directly behind him was 22-year-old Melvit Altuntaş. He was a Turkish native who for 2.5 years had served on an elite riot police unit, and over the past year, he had been asked 8 separate times to be on the personal security detail of the Turkish president. Andrei looked down at the podium at his notes, and then he looked up at the room that was filled with journalists and dignitaries, and he composed himself, he cleared his voice, and he began to speak. Behind him, Mevlut, the bodyguard, bodyguard opened his jacket slightly and continued staring at the back of Andre's head. And then in one swift motion, he drew a pistol and fired 3 shots into the ambassador's back. And then when the ambassador fell to the ground, Mevlut moved on top of him and fired 4 more shots, killing him. Guests started screaming and running for cover. Meanwhile, Mevlut pointed his finger into the sky and yelled, "Do not forget Aleppo, do not forget Syria." And then he began walking around the exhibit, smashing the pictures on the wall before Turkish security forces showed up. There was a gunfight and Mevlut was killed. It would turn out Mevlut was not a part of Andrei Karlov's security detail. He was actually off duty, but had used his police credentials to get into the exhibit hall. His exact motive for the assassination is unclear. Some think it was revenge for Russia's targeting of rebel-held areas in Aleppo. Others say the shooting was designed to disrupt warming relations between Turkey and Russia. But regardless of why it happened, what the world remembers from this event is the award-winning photograph that was taken of Mevlut immediately after he committed the attack. Here is that photo.
I swear I remember this. I remember this happening. I swear I do. Because I feel like it was captured on camera. The attack. But I do remember this happening. It's just 2016, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you was doing December 9th? I remember what I was doing. Working. I was working at Amazon.
I was working. December 2016. That was the same. Yeah, I was working. I went back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was working. I was here, but I was working at.
I was there. I was back home.
That was a weekday too. Or was I off that day? Hold on. That had to be either a Wednesday or a Thursday. I'm cold, y'all.
Well, the only reason you would know.
Don't tell nobody my
I'm gonna
business.
tell them.
Don't tell nobody my business. Don't tell nobody my business. It's my business, not theirs. So no, it was a Monday.
So you eat that cold.
I am that cold.
What day was you basing it off of?
One of these 2 days. I can't remember. One of these 2 days was the, you know.
What was your day?
I think it was this day.
Oh.
I think it was this. I can't remember. It's one of these 2 days.
How you don't remember?
I don't remember.
That's crazy.
I don't remember.
I think it was this day, though.
What, this day?
I think so.
I feel like it was this day.
I really don't know.
You ain't go, so don't worry about it.
You didn't invite me.
No, don't say it. But it was a Monday. That's crazy.
So on Monday, you causing all this ruckus.
On a Monday. That's insane. Yeah, I was at work, though.
That's... I don't remember it. I don't think. Maybe if I seen like footage or whatever.
Yeah.
If you do remember that, maybe it was. I don't know. I don't want to see the footage like for real. But I kind of don't remember it.
Anytime like stuff like that happens, I watch the footage. I watched the footage several times. See, I'll be like, see, look. She be like, I ain't watching it.
You're like, just look. You can't
I'm like,
see nothing.
You
and then I see stuff. And I'll be like, bro, you said I couldn't see nothing. You tricked me. See, that's why I don't be trusting people. But yeah, that's crazy, though. And he never seen it coming.
Nah.
Yeah.
I wonder which shot was the kill shot. Was the one he took in, like the first initial ones, or when he stood on top of him?
And then I wonder, like, where were the, like, was it?
True.
You know,
where in it?
Because you were in the back of him. No one is even expecting you to, you know.
Oh, I done seen some gruesome shit, y'all. I can stomach something like that. I done seen the aftermath of somebody getting in the face. Remember, I tried to get you to look at that one, dude. What we shot like 15, 19 times in the face.
Yeah.
I'll show you after this.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
I want to see that.
You said what?
I said I want to see that.
In the fall of 2015, 21-year-old Otto Warmbier was...
Damn, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry.
In the fall of 2015, 21-year-old Otto Warmbier was a gifted student at the University of Virginia. He had a passion for seeing new and faraway places, and so one day when he was on campus and he saw an ad for a trip going to one of the most secretive places in the world, North Korea, he jumped at the opportunity to go. The tour was being run by a group called the Young Pioneers, whose slogan was, "We take you to places that your mother would rather you stayed away from." But they promised their tours were totally safe. And
would you go?
No, because that alone freaks me out. We take you to places. My mama.
But no, I'm just saying, like.
Am I going to North Korea?
Because Then I seen
with the woman.
Yeah,
waking up to the music
at 6 a.m.
Yeah, and
then she looked outside. Ain't nobody outside. Well, a handful of people walking.
And then I was like, I said, girl, what you doing over there?
I've sent you several videos lately about people exploring North Korea. North Korea doesn't seem like a place on the earth. Do it. Like it seems such like an odd place. I'm like, this is actual place people are living.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like y'all are supposed it's literally like we don't supposed to be knowing about this place. I
seems
swear.
Very secretive, very like,
bro.
I don't know.
Like when you just see how they operate and move, like now we can visually see. A lot of people are going over there. They're vlogging. They're showing, and I'm like, this doesn't seem normal. It doesn't seem like.
And they're sneaking to do that.
It doesn't.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like. I'm like, what the I don't know. It's very weird to me. Like yeah, I understand. Certain people in this world don't live the life we live. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen.
This is something unfamiliar because, like you said,
it seems so weird the way they act, the way they move, and the way the town just looks so gloomy, and there's no vibrant. It's just like.
Yeah, it do be
like we'll be watching people that's in the wilderness, and I'm like, that's the way they live. I'm like, that's understandable, but the way North Koreans live, it don't seem like.
Is that your mother would rather you stayed away from, but they promised their tours were totally safe. Initially, Otto's parents were not too keen on the idea of their son going to North Korea, but when they saw how excited he was about going on this trip, they ultimately said, okay, we'll let you go. On December 29th, 2015, Otto met up with the other 10 members of this tour group at the airport. They all climbed inside of an old Soviet jet, and they took off for North Korea. 15 hours later, they arrived at Pyongyang International Airport, and as soon as they got off the plane, the North Korean border police came right up to them, confiscated their cameras, and then checked their phones for any subversive material. After a few tense minutes, they gave them their phones back and allowed them to leave. The group went straight to their hotel, and before they went inside, they noticed a clearly anti-American billboard right outside. And it made the group very uneasy because they were all American.
Right.
But they collectively decided that this was just part of the experience and they shouldn't be worried or concerned about it. And before long, they had totally let their guard down and they were out enjoying the sights and sounds of the capital city. At one point, Otto and some others even got into a snowball fight with some North Korean children. By New Year's Eve, the group felt completely normal walking around North Korea. And so they headed to this huge party at Kim Il-sung Square with thousands of other North Koreans. And then after that was over, they headed back to their hotel and continued to drink. The hotel they were staying in was designed to entertain foreigners. In addition to their bar and 5 restaurants in the lobby, they had a massage parlor, a sauna, a bowling alley. I mean, this group was totally living it up. The following morning, which was the day of their departure from North Korea, Otto was one of the last people of the group to hand his passport to airport officials. And when he did, it seemed like they spent a lot of time looking at it and then looking at Otto and then talking to each other in Korean. And then at some point, 2 North Korean soldiers just appeared out of nowhere behind Otto, tapped him on the shoulder. Otto turned around and they grabbed him by the arm and led him away. The others from the group that saw this happen would say Otto didn't put up any resistance and didn't look scared. He just walked with them. Later, North Korea would release grainy CCTV footage taken from inside the hotel where Otto and the group was staying that showed this unidentifiable figure walking into a restricted area, pulling a poster off of the wall. And the North Koreans were saying that figure was Otto. After taking Otto from the airport, North Korean officials said they found the poster that had been stolen in Otto's possession. And they accused him of a very serious crime in North Korea, which is damaging or stealing any item that has the picture or name of the North Korean leader on it. Otto was sent to jail and the rest of his group was told to leave. 2 months later, on February 29th, the North Korean government released a video that showed Otto walking into a North Korean courtroom. His head is down and his hands are cuffed. They walk him into the center of the room and sit him down in front of this long table, and he's looking out to the sea of reporters and courtroom officials, and he proceeds to confess to his crime. The way he describes what he did is so bizarre that many people believe it was a forced confession scripted by his interrogators. Otto says he put on his quietest boots, the best for sneaking, and then snuck his way into the hotel where he stole the poster. He claimed a local Methodist church a university's secret society, and the American administration all collectively pushed him to do this. He said his actions were intentionally designed to hurt the work ethic and motivation of the Korean people. And he also said he was impressed with the North Korean government's humanitarian treatment of himself, considering he was a severe criminal. And then after his nearly 2-minute long confession, he stands up and bows to the court, and then appears to break character and begs for forgiveness, and he's quickly ushered out. A month later, the North Korean court would convict Otto and sentence him to 15 years of hard labor. But after 17 months of intense political pressure, North Korea agreed to release Otto and send him back to the United States. Now, to this point, nobody had had a chance to communicate with Otto while he was in prison. And so when he was sent back, he was not the same Otto.
Right.
He had suffered some unexplained head injury and was in a coma.
Oh.
When Otto's parents saw him for the first time...
Oh, hell no.
Oh, my God.
Y'all,
Yeah.
what the absolute... Y'all agreed to release... Why 2015? Why the fuck I ain't never heard of this? And then in 2016, he would have been released. Why haven't I... No, 2017.
2017.
Because 17 months, he got convicted
17 months, yeah.
in 2016. So then 2017, he would have been released, right? Going into 2018. Because he said 17 months.
Yeah.
So going into... What?
And then he suffered... What? I'm so like...
No, they beat him because
y'all wanted to make sure that he
suffered. Y'all was
or
trying to,
wouldn't be able to
y'all
really
was trying
tell.
To make y'all was trying to make an example out of him.
Yeah.
He had suffered some unexplained head injury and was in a coma. When Otto's parents saw him for the first time, they barely recognized him. They said it looked like his lower teeth had been moved around with pliers, and they found a large scar on his foot that they didn't recognize. North Korea denied any intentional mistreatment of Otto. They said he fell into this coma after contracting botulism, which is a very rare form of food poisoning that can be deadly. Once Otto was back under American medical care, doctors did everything they could to try to get him out of this coma, but there was nothing they could do. He was in a persistent vegetative state, and he had already suffered severe brain damage. And so on June 19th, 2017, just 6 days after Otto was back in the United States, his parents made the heartbreaking decision to remove him from life support, and he died shortly thereafter. To this day, no one really knows what actually happened to Otto. No. Here is one of the final photos of Otto while he was still alive and healthy, taken right after his strange confession. He's holding back tears and begging for mercy, but mercy would not come. So that's going to do it, guys. If you found the secret in today's episode, let us know in the comments what it is.
He was beat
that
together.
That photo that he had showed of the person like tearing the poster, was that, did he have like this was a real photo?
Real photo. But the body structure, to be completely honest, doesn't 100%.
It honestly looked like someone in they like uniform. Like it don't look like
Well,
him.
no, the person is 100% disguised. But also, we don't know what the other people that was with him looked like.
True. Don't know that either.
But also, it did sound like a possibility of a coerced confession.
That's sad, bro.
And a forceful... You know they were going to force him to confess.
That is...
You know what I'm saying? You're a foreigner in somebody else's country, especially a country like North Korea, and some stuff like that. They was going to try to...
I hate that, and I don't know why.
He was on some on some real shit. He was beat and tortured probably every day. On some real spill, he was probably beat and tortured every day. He was honestly, you know how like they be like you a prisoner of war. Like even though we're not at war with them, it was like he was being held captive as a prisoner of war.
Yeah,
and so they're trying to probably beat some info out of it. Like, I'll say this, because I don't know why they be thinking Americans be knowing shit. Motherfucker, I don't know what the hell the government got going on. Like, don't take me, bro. You taking the wrong person. Yeah. And like the parents said, it sounds like, because that's one of the tactics, they try to fuck with your teeth. Because that's nerve damage, you know what I'm saying? They try to...
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
He probably went through some cruelty shit over there. And we'll never know.
Yeah.
Because y'all knew to send him back home breathing, but he won't be able to tell y'all nothing.
Yep. That's what I was trying to say earlier. He won't be able to
relate
any information or what they did to him, or now all you got to go off is what they're saying.
And he wasn't no but a college student.
No, but a college student, bro. Whole life ahead of him.
And even the videos and stuff I see about people going over there now is not Americans. Like everybody I keep seeing is going over there and stuff. The European, and it seems like they don't have an issue with Europeans the same way they have an issue with Americans.
Yeah.
So they're able to freely go, and they go into like a certain area of the country, not into the main area where most people live, but it's like area that they have opened up for foreign. But it's like, why are y'all opening this part now?
Yeah.
And so to me, that's a hidden agenda in itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts and opinions about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
We
are.
Kid and
We are.
No time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar.